So here's something that I think is interesting. Here's my YouTube channel with the list of videos that are up already. Note the views. So let's start with the first ones that I uploaded. 6 views, 4 views, 5 views, 82 views. And that's a pretty reasonable one to have a lot of views on, because that's calling out the owners on a lot of stuff, right? A lot of things they owe me. A lot of things they've done. 7 views, that's just reposting another video from another channel where that's dedicated to a whole other thing, but I was talking about some of my experiences at my job there on Cedar Island. Reasonable, it would only have like 7 views. 29 views and 16 views. That's a little bit of a bump up. And then 18 views. So these also be a bit more understandable. Also talking about problems with stuff I'm owed, tools I'm owed. By the way, also I'm missing my really, really good, nice, new, thick, hardcore jumper cables that I lent the resort so that they could try to jumpstart the piece of shit skid steer that kept breaking down. It was broken down when I first got there, and they said they were trying to get it back up and going. And when we got it back, it was working for like a week and then broke down again. And then I was approached about, please, can we use your really, really nice new jumper cables? The nice thick ones too, not those little skimpy things. The nice thick yellow jumper cables, big ass ones that I got right before I went on the road with my rig. They were like a year old maybe. So yeah, you guys owe me that too. And I have no clue where those are because Elaine insisted I have to tell them exactly where stuff is around the island. Like some of the shit I lent you guys and you took off somewhere and I don't know where it wound up. Like my jumper cables. I don't know where they are on that island. I just know I handed them off because I was told we really need to get the skid steer started. And nobody had jumper cables that were as good as mine. So where are my jumper cables? There's that. But let's get back to the views. The views, I think, is really interesting. So it makes sense. So the 2 with the biggest views, the rest are just like a few views. 7 views, 6 views, 6 views, 17, 4 views. The 2 that really have the most, up in the 80s. Again, it's this one, Cedar Island Ranch sucks. Millionaires, blah, blah, blah. I was talking about my tools. And a lot of the problems in the barn and how David's cheap and doesn't want to pay for things he needs to upkeep the barn. So that has 82 views. Then the other one that has like 80 views is Cedar Island Ranch is creepy AF, like creepy as fuck. And this is the one where I'm talking about the creepy conversation I overheard in the barn office between Jeremy Edwards, the barn manager, and Jorge, the little toady. That's interesting that's 80 views. I don't think there are 80 people on that whole island. Who are all the people going and viewing this over and over again? Is somebody like going over and over again? I'm not. Or is it a bunch of people? Let's say like at least a handful of them are going to this video a few times. So let's say it's more closer to 65, 70 people. I could maybe pull it up in my analytics and see how many like individual unique visitors are seeing this. But 80 views. Hey, Jeremy, that wouldn't be a bunch of any of your Freemason buddies going and watching this video, would it? Or I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, why does that one have so many views and all these others have like just a few, handful? It makes sense that like this one I get into a lot of detail, a lot of information about problems around that barn and what the owners owe me and so on and so forth. So this one, the Cedar Island Ranch sucks one, makes more sense. And it was like the first one I really posted that was like me commenting on the issues. So it makes sense that I would have like, these first 3 were just like videos I'd already taken of work I'd done around the barn and sent off to Jeremy, the barn manager. But this 4th one here that I posted, the Cedar Island Ranch sucks, the one dead center in the middle of the screen here. Yeah, that one makes more sense. It would have 80-some views. That would be one of the most seen. And then, of course, like, interest is going to die off a bit. Interest maintained for a little while, like through the other 2 videos that I made about how it sucks and what the millionaires owe me and showing my tools, and started dipping. And then, wow, 80 views for this one, for Cedar Island Ranch. It's creepy as fuck. 80 views where I'm talking about how Jeremy Edwards is kind of creepy. And then the rest are handful. 6, 7 views, 2 views, 4 views, 2 views, 5 views. Granted, these are newer posts, but still, I don't know, it's just, it's interesting that this one's getting so many views. Oh, let's pause it. I could overhear a conversation between the manager. I should go in and proof that. Like, a conversation. I could overhear a conversation between the barn manager and Jorge in the barn office during the first... Oh, and I should add his name in there. Oh, and TACK should be TACK without a capital T. I do tend to just talk to text descriptions and stuff in and post them. I really should proof check and edit. I do the same thing with text. I apologize if that's annoying. And then sometimes I'll go back and make sure that the whole thing was, understandable enough. If it wasn't, then I'll, put in a little, oh, I didn't mean this, I meant that. Still, interesting. 80 views on this one. And most of the rest just have handful. Who are all these people going and looking at this video? There's not 80 people on that island. I don't think there's 80 people within even a 2-mile stretch of that island. I don't know. That's weird. That live there, year round. Just food for thought. Just wondering what that's all about.